We're going to do another flipped lesson. This time it's on Chapter 5, Section 4, Solving Proportions. We've kind of already practiced this, so this is a little bit of a review. So there's about 3 or 4 different ways to solve proportions. So we can do mental math, which is what we've been doing a lot, where you look to see, I go from 2/5 to x over 25. Well, I know 5 times 5 gives me 25. Whatever I do to the bottom, I do to the top. So copy that down. And the same with my 3 over 10 and x over 100. So please copy all that down so it's in your notebook. So we can solve our proportions using mental math. We can also use cross products, or we can call it the butterfly effect. So write that down as well. Remember, if you need to pause the video while you write down the notes. I can also use the multiplication property of equality. Again, write this down in your notebook. I should see this in your notebook. Okay, so that's where I first multiply both sides times 5, if you look. So I just want x all by itself, and then I'm done. I find sometimes that's a faster way than using cross products. So write this down. Have it all in your notebook, please. So we're going to practice using some of these. Okay, here's example 1. Again, write this in your notebook. So we're going to use the multiplication property of equality. So here's my equation. C over 12 equals 5 over 3. If you need to pause the video, go ahead and pause the video while you write that down. Now, remember to solve for C, I need to get rid of 12. So right now I have C divided by 12. So that means I want to do the opposite. So I want to multiply both sides times 12. My 12s will cross cancel on the left side, and then on the right side, I think I can also cross cancel some of that to make it a little bit easier to do the math. So here I'm going to cross cancel my 12s, and here 3 can go into 12 4 times. I do that to make the math easier. I would recommend that. So C equals 20. So again, go ahead and write that in your notebook. When you're ready to move on, go ahead and move on. But if you need to pause the video, pause the video. Okay, so now you have some on your own. But notice, I only want you to use the multiplication property of equality. So that means, like on the first one, I want W all by itself. I have W divided by 6. So that means I would want to multiply both sides times 6. So go ahead and write those problems down in your notebook. Solve, and you should see a text box on the right. So pause the video, answer all those questions, put them in your notebook, put them in the text box, and then when you're ready to move on, go ahead and move on. Okay, so check your answers. So I should see that you have the correct answers. If you don't, put a star, circle them, figure out what you did wrong, or ask for help tomorrow during class. So I should see all those checked off in your notebook. So put little checks like we do with our homework. Okay, now I'm going to use my cross products or the butterfly effect. So I have 3 over 4 equals x over 6. So I'm going to multiply 3 times 6 with my cross product. So here's my cross product, 3 times 6. My other cross product is 4 times x. So I get 4 times x. And then I'm just going to go ahead and solve those. Whoops. So I get 18 equals 4x. I'm going to divide each side by 4. And I don't know if this is going to work perfectly because I know 4 times 4 is 16. So it might be easier if I just first simplify. Now I see that half of 9 is 4.5. Okay, so make sure that's all in your notebook, and then I'm going to do another example. All right. My second example. So use your cross products. So you get 4 times h, 12 times 13. Divide both sides by 4. I might simplify that first. And then I get 39. So how would I simplify that? I would divide both of those by 4 And then I get 3 times 13, which is so much easier than doing 12 times 13, then divide by 4. So write that all in your notebook. When you're ready to move on, we're going to move on. Okay, here's some more on your own. So write these down in your notebook. Do them one at a time, but you're only using cross products. So you'll need to pause the video, write these down, do some math, put the answers in the text box on the right. When you're ready to move on, go ahead and move on. Okay, this is how I solved them. Please pause the video, check your work, check my work, make sure I didn't make any mistakes as well. I might be trying to trick ya. No, I'm not. So, check your answers. I should see that you've checked them in your notebook. Okay, everybody's favorite word problem. All right, let's see. The graph shows the toll Y due on a turnpike for driving X miles. Your toll is $9. How many kilometers did you drive? What the heck am I going to do? So first I'm going to set up my ratios. Then I'm going to solve for miles. And then I convert those miles to kilometers. I need you to write all of this in your notebook, including the graph. So you can pause the video. And I want you to copy this all down in your notebook. So I should see every single thing in your notebook so that you have this as an example when you try to solve some more problems. Okay, so here's my ratio. So I took that from the graph, the 7.5 and 100. Remember, it's always y over x. And now I can do whatever I want to solve for my x. I'm going to probably use cross products. And then I get 120 miles. So you're going to have to do a little math to get there. Oh, one more step. I have to convert to kilometers. So here's how to convert to kilometers. 1 mile equals 1.6 kilometers. So I started with 120 miles, and I know 1 mile is 1.6 kilometers, so I'm just going to multiply those. And I get 193 kilometers. So again, pause the video, write this in your notebook. You don't need to memorize those conversions. I will always give you those conversions. You just need to know how to use them. So if you have questions, write those down in the side of your notebook, put a star, put a circle so that we can go over those tomorrow during class. But I should see all of the notes in your notebook. All right, here's some more on your own. On these, I'm going to make you look up the conversions in your notebook, on the internet, somewhere, but I should see the math in your notebook, not just go to Google and convert 7.5 inches to centimeters. If you don't know how to do these, I should at least see the questions written down, and I should at least see centimeters and inches conversions. So I should see some work, not just, I don't get it. So we can go over these tomorrow during class. You should see a text box on your right. You're either going to put down answers or the conversions, or give me some information of where you're stuck. Don't just say, I don't get it. So you have to figure out what don't you get. All right, here's my answers. So now you should at least copy this down in the notebook so that then you can see what I've done, and then we have something to talk about. So again, I should see these all in your notebook. If you need to pause the video, pause the video. If you have a question, circle it, star it, do something so that I know where we need the help. All right, that's it. We're not doing the homework, so let's go back to this. All right, so I'll see you tomorrow during class.